If you've been following along and have never joined a design boot camp, I'm going to encourage you to sign up. It's 5 hours of workshops and we have live versions going on often so you can come and ask questions. Go to www.designsweetcourses.com/designbootcamp. If you have been struggling to get sales from your design work or understanding what you really need to do to make money, I have the workshop for you. On September 23rd, I'm hosting my first ever Profitable Designer Workshop. This 1-day, 3-hour workshop is only $97, but I have a discount for all my podcast listeners. Go to carinagardnercourses.com/profit and put in the code podcast for $50 off. I can't wait to see you more profitable. Welcome to the Make and Design Podcast. I'm your host, Carina Gardner. On this podcast, we're unraveling the everyday joys and dilemmas of design, making, and business. For makers who want to be designers and for designers who are makers, this is your inside scoop to help you grow your business and bring more creativity to your life. I love color. And if you are a designer or crafter, you love color too. And that's part of the reason you're here. Color is such an important part of the design process. And ironically, we're on a podcast. If you're on YouTube, then you see me. But we can't show and talk about color. So if you take a color class from a university, the majority of your time is spent with all of this paint mixing color so that you can see all the different varying tones and degrees of color. At least that's what we did in our design classes at the University of Minnesota. So if it might have changed by now. If you have ever been in a color class, it's super fascinating. It's a lot of hands-on and you are spending a lot of time looking and like really feeling out the way color variation changes per whatever you're doing, more black, more white, or more other colors mixed into it. So I love color, and I thought we could start by talking about the Pantone color of the year. Now, don't ask me how they come up with this, but when I read the little paraphrasing, the little description of this, I was like, oh, I think I know what's going on here. So every year Pantone does come out, and this is not an ad for Pantone, but they come out with a color of the year or even 2 colors of the year. And this year they had 2 colors, and the 2 colors are called Illuminating, which is a yellow color. Okay, it's like a very sunshiny yellow. I would say it's like kind of a truer tone yellow than you would see. It's not like, I really like yellows with a lot of orange in them, so they kind of feel cheesy, like cheese colored. Or there's a lot of yellows with a little bit of green in them. They kind of almost go chartreusey. This is a yellow. It's a very true. It's a very true yellow. And then the second color that they've put with it is Ultimate Gray, which is a very, I would say, lighter to medium gray color. Now, this at the time of recording this, if you're listening to this way further along, this is 2021 that I'm going through, and we have just gotten. I mean, we're still actually in the midst of it, but COVID, right? March of 2020 is when quarantine kind of began. Kids were out of school, and the year was a difficult one. It was, for a lot of people, a big struggle. So now it's summer of 2021. We're a year and a few months into it. There's still lots of cases. Things are opening up, but closed in some areas, depending on where you are in the country. And I'm in the United States, so maybe it's different for you if you're in another country. But let's just I'm just going to read to you guys what it says about these 2 colors, and tell me or think about what you think it means based on all the historical context I've given you. Okay, Pantone 175104 Ultimate Gray and 130647 Illuminating, 2 independent colors that highlight how different elements come together to support one another. Best express the mood for the Pantone color of the year 2021. Practical and rock solid, but at the same time warming and optimistic. The union of these 2 colors I'm just inserting there, is one of strength and positivity. It is a story of color that encapsulates deeper feelings of thoughtfulness with the promise of something sunny and friendly. And when you read that and you think, oh my goodness, we're just coming out of COVID, that what they've done is they've tried to capture a feeling of hope and optimism. That's what I'm getting from it anyway. That little bit of yellow with a little bit of gray, like coming out of the storm, and this feeling of like there is something hopeful yet to come. Let's see, they say a message of happiness supported by fortitude. So like maybe strength. It is aspirational and gives us hope. We need to feel that everything is going to get brighter. This is essential to the human spirit. As people look for ways to fortify themselves with energy, clarity, and hope to overcome the continuing uncertainty, spirited and emboldened by shade, satisfy our quest for vitality. And I'm gonna stop there. There is more. If you wanna go check that out, you can go to Pantone.com. They are in no way, I'm not affiliated with them. I just think it is very fascinating, their choice, and how on point their choice was. I feel like they probably had a psychologist come in and talk to them about what we might have been feeling. I just think it's such a fascinating look at how color can help us, how color can bring us hope, it can bring us optimism, and I just thought it was fascinating. So let's talk even more about color. Let's talk about like kind of what color can do for us, right? Color has been known to change our mood. Color has been known to suppress our appetite. It can help us feel a certain way. So as a designer or as a crafter or maker, as you are choosing your colors for things, it matters. It 100% matters, okay? So when you're working on a project, so I'm trying to think of a project I've been working on recently. I've been drawing a lot of dingbats recently. That's why I'm having trouble recalling. I've been doing a lot of pop cards and banners. And in fact, actually, let's talk about some of my summertime projects. So when I talked to Silhouette about doing this like summertime photo shoot, and I like immediately was like, I want a lot of color. And I knew I wanted to work with like navies and yellows, so like golds, like navy and golds, because that always reminds me of like nautical, right? So it reminds me of summer and beachiness. And then I was like, you know, I really want some aqua in that. Once again, more like water and pool and beachiness. And then I was like, the yellow is like kind of like my offset color for the navy and the aqua, but I wanted to bring in a tiny bit of feminine. So I brought in some pink and some coral as well. So you'll notice a lot of my banners and a lot of my quotes in my Silhouette shop actually really reflect this color scheme. I use it a lot, you guys, like a lot. It's like in my lanterns, it's in all my banners, it's in all of the quotes I was putting together that we made tattoos out of and signs out of. It's like that was the color scheme. And I went through and I thought about what I wanted, and then I sat down in my programs and I pulled all the color shades and blended them and made sure that they fit, okay? But if it hadn't been a pool party like theme, and instead it had been fall and maybe I was working on an autumn theme, that probably wouldn't be the same colorways, right? Maybe some of those same colors could end up in there, but maybe if I'm in autumn, I'm looking at really warm reds. Maybe I could bring in a pink if I wanted to, but I think I'd go more warm reds, some burnt oranges, maybe bring the yellow back, maybe some browns, okay? Some shades of brown, maybe even some black if I was going into Halloween a little bit here. But so think about how we are using color to evoke a certain season in our life even, or the theme of a party can really drastically change how we choose our colors for things. When you are making things, be thinking about that. Like when you are making a silhouette project, like if you're cutting a file or whatever, if you're with me on YouTube and you see me with my big gingerbread house behind me, the colors in that are bright. I've chosen a lot of different colors, but I've chosen a very neutral background. It has like a brown craft paper for the main base of the house so that I can then display all the bright colors. And I've tried to choose a lot of colors for that because it's happy, it's bright, it brings me a lot of joy to see all those colors put together, okay? And so you're evoking a feeling. And I think that is the main advice I have for you. It's hard to talk about color without looking at a lot of colors, so this is kind of a shorter little podcast I'm doing with you, but I just want you to remember and pay attention to the colors that you're using and think very wisely about how you can limit color. So like very early on, and for those of you who are new designers, new makers, those of you who are in my Design Suite program who are new, I actually usually tell you guys to limit your color choices. Why? Because you can control the look and the feel and the design so much better. So I will limit my color choices even in digital kits, because what happens is that if I can use those colors, then I can make sure the design work is even better. And then I can bring in more colors if I want, but you get that solidified, oh my gosh, you guys, solidified look when you are using a limited color palette. So I have lots of kits and lots of projects where all they are pink and red and white. You know, like they have a neutral and two colors, or even that's really one color with like white tones into it, right? Just to make sure that the design work was strong enough, even without all of the color, okay? I hope you enjoyed this, and I really hope that you are thinking smart about your colors. If you're listening to this and working on a new project and thinking about the colors, I hope they're making you happy. I love colors that make me happy, and I also love using colors to evoke a feeling. All right, you guys, I can't wait to talk to you soon. Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.